Michaela, good morning, and thank you very much for your time. On your website, your headline, you're offering as inspiring better choices to build tomorrow. What inspired you to start Value Add?
Well, Dan, thanks very much for having me. It's a bit of a story, but I'll break it down very quickly. I'm somebody who struggled at school. I actually failed my exams that were my university entry exams, what was the equivalent of matric. So I had to actually completely do a 180 in my life to get some direction. And I appreciate what it takes for young people who are going through difficulties to try and be inspired to see positiveness in the future. You know, at the present moment, the youth are going through a really difficult time. When we look at what we're going through as a pandemic, when we look at unemployment figures, when we look at a whole variety of things, including what we've just gone through with regards to the schooling systems, etc., they're really under pressure. So they really need to be inspired about the future and what they bring to this world to add to our humanity.
Now, this week, of course, tomorrow is June 16. It's Youth Day. We're having this conversation with that in mind as young people will commemorate the June 16 of 1976. But there's very little to celebrate for young people.
It is tough. It is very difficult. But what we need to put into consideration is that history. June 16 was a momentous moment in our country. And as a result of that, it was actually the youth who determined a particular direction that the country should take in an educational system. So during these difficult times, I think the youth can appreciate that they have the opportunity to change the direction of our country and the trajectory that we're going in. We've seen it globally as well, that the youth are playing an influential role in changing all sorts of things, including the Black Lives Matter issue. So the youth are in control, and we need to just direct them and give them that inspiration to go in a positive direction.
Now, what does Value Add offer in its programs for young people?
So what we try to do is we're trying to inspire young people to understand that the future of the world is around skills. So we're trying to develop leadership that's community-based, that enables them to grow those skills that can add value to their surroundings. So we have a program that actually goes through that. And we include guests, we include career podcasting, and a number of things that just give the youth a sense of the future and what's to come.
Now, you say you want to build positive societal value as well, values, and we are currently battling with this epidemic, which is so painful and visible, which is the epidemic of gender-based violence and so many young women being killed by young men. I mean, from a societal values perspective, what kind of issues do you cover in your program?
So one of the things that I heard from somebody who I admire is that people who hurt others can't love themselves. So one of the key things within developing personal excellence and personal performance is to ignite that sense of self that individuals need to have. If we need to go around really at this day and age asking communities to start playing a vital role in protecting women and children, we have a value system that's a problem. So what we do is we talk about value systems. We talk about things like how to make choices in life and the guiding principles that define choices. We talk about preparation and how you need to, as a person, be constantly and continuously preparing your life for the future. We talk about community-based involvement. So how do you get involved with others? And we also talk about value-based success, where it's not material, but value. So how do you add value to society more so than just being about you? Unfortunately, the world, Bradan, has moved from a we philosophy to an I philosophy. And we need to re-inculcate the we philosophy back into our youth and everybody else actually in society.
June is a youth month. Are you going to be offering any special programs for this month as we commemorate June 16?
Yeah, sure. So if you go into our Value Add website, you'll be able to register. We actually have a conversation tomorrow morning at 10:30 about the future of the youth post-COVID, quote unquote, and how we can actually start taking advantage of this. And there is a number of ways in which the youth can start looking at different ways to take advantage of this. And going into July, we start our subscription-based model online that people can subscribe to, that starts going through our programs that will help people starting to think about how it is that they're going to either turn their lives around or continue to add more value. So I invite everybody to go onto the website to register for tomorrow's session. and also to start thinking about subscribing for the modular program that's going to run over the course of the next year.
What's your website?
It's valueed with 2 E's.co.za.
So it's 2 words together. It's value and ed, ed joined together. So it's 2 E's there, .co.za.
Correct.
Okay, thank you very much, Vikela. We wish you well. An uplifting story there. You might want to take advantage of it. That's valueed.co.za.